Welcome to Dayton, Idaho, home of the Westside Pirates for Bear Lake softball on the air. As Bear Lake Bears set to take on the Westside Pirates in a district matchup. Second district matchup of the year for the Bear Lake Bears. Lost to Malad last time we were on the air, in fact. Was a loss at Malad to the Dragons. This is a different team where Malad is like won 5 straight state championships. Westside is down a little bit this year. Well, they're in a rebuilding year. They lost a lot of seniors last year, and so this is kind of a rebuilding year. So this is a game where Bear Lake is definitely favored. You go by Max Preps rankings, it's Bear Lake's a double-digit favorite in this game, which in softball says a lot. It shouldn't be on paper, Bears are definitely the favorite. That's what I'm trying to say, Nate.
Wait, you got there. You got there eventually.
Took the roundabout way. We're in center field, as you can see. Morgan Armstrong up to bat first for Bear Lake. Hallie Wade pitching.
Fully ready to catch a home run at any moment. I even brought my baseball glove.
I have
I'm
mine.
ready. I can make a play.
I'm going to get mine out just in case.
I can make a play. I can save this computer if we
got
need
a couple of batters that could get here. So Morgan drives the first pitch foul into the crowd. Strike one. Morgan Armstrong, leadoff hitter for Bear Lake. Bear Lake had a great weekend. For those of you that didn't hear, went up to the Glens Ferry tournament, played 4 games in 2 days, and won 3 of the 4. Played really well. And their one loss was to the team that's currently ranked 3 in the state, Coal Valley Christian, as Armstrong takes that ball for a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. And Bear Lake went 3-1 in the tournament, improved their state rankings, our state rankings, quite a bit, because they beat teams that every team they beat was ranked ahead of them going into the tournament. So that bode well for the Bears, as Armstrong has 2 balls, 1 strike, and she takes that one a little bit inside. Here's the next pitch. You can tell it's a windy day. High fly ball coming right towards us. Nate, you got your glove on to catch that one?
I wish.
And it is snagged
Good
deep
catch.
Center field. That one didn't get missed going out by much. I don't know how well you saw that, but that was less than 10 feet in front of Nate and I.
I was fully prepared to make a diving play there, Jared. Warming up my slow pitch abilities, if you will, as the wind kicks up even more.
And that was a great play by the outfielder. Good hit by Morgan Armstrong. Nate, I got to take this call. We saw you for a minute.
All right, first pitch is in there for strike 1. Count's going to be 0-1 here. As I'll tell you what, that they got a scoreboard over here, but it is like you draw on it with chalk here. That's going to be inside and low for ball 1. Evens the count up 1-1 for the Lady Bears. And as I was saying, that scoreboard over there is, like I said, in Westside, they spend all their money on fireworks and their football team. As the 1-1 pitch is on its way from Wade, and that's going to be inside ball 2. 2-1. Pretty nice day over here, though. Mid-50s. You really can't beat it. Just nice to be outside, see some green grass. Always a pretty drive over here. Wade delivers the 2-1. And it is high for a ball. It's going to make the count 3-1 here. Great hitter's count. Love to see it as a batter. You want to get ahead in this place. Gives you a couple of pitches to play with. If it's down the middle, swing right away. Wind up in the pitch, and it is in there, tipped away foul, as that's going to make the count full 3-2. 1 down here in the first inning, as I forgot to fix that. There we go. Little real-time editing for you. 3-2 pitch from Wade on its way. And it is outside for a ball 4, as Bear Lake will get a runner here with an early walk to the second batter. Filling up the count, too.
Sorry, trying to do triple duty here.
Not only there did you get a runner on base, but you made the pitcher work to walk the person. You know, the more pitches this pitcher throws, the better off you are if you're a Bear.
If I'm remembering correctly, and if anybody from Westside is watching this and I get names wrong, I apologize. All I have is last initials. but I think this is Wade, the pitcher, and it's ball 2.
Oh, that was the first pitch.
Oh, that was first pitch. Ball 1, but Natalie Parslow still second on the play. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at second, 1 out on that high fly ball, deep fly ball that Morgan Armstrong hit as the first batter. And this one's behind the hitter, and it'll be a pass ball for ball 2, and Natalie Parslow will sprint down to third base on the wild pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner out third, 1 out here in the top of the first on a windy but beautiful afternoon. I'm not complaining about the weather. I talked with their coaches about it pregame as a swing and a miss there for strike 1 from Bruce. This is the nicest game I've ever coached in Bear Lake.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, in Westside, I should say, in Westside. Weather-wise, this is beautiful compared to what we usually have over here.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take any day I get to see green grass.
2 ball.
Good drive, too.
2 balls, 1 strike. And ball's in play. It's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. The run will score out at first. Bruce, frustrated. She knew she swung at ball 3, but she put it in play. First run does score of the game. As the ground ball out does score a run. RBI there for Bruce, and Sadara Priest now at the plate. Priest had a good weekend, hit the ball well up in Glens Ferry, and she takes inside for ball 1. Priest ready for pitch number 2 from Hallie. And then that's a called strike inside corner on that one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on, 1 run in here in the top of the first. They don't even have the old scoreboard on anybody out there taking score.
They do.
Oh, do they have it?
Yeah, the score's posted. It's just, I was saying earlier, they spend all their money on fireworks and football over here.
It is, for me, though, it's nostalgia. That's the old-fashioned, you have to put it up by hand.
Yeah, it's cool at Fenway, but this is a chalkboard, Jared. This isn't even a Fenway.
1 ball, 2 strikes as Priest swings and misses. Here's the pitch. And that's outside for ball 2. 2-2 evens up the count.
It's like if they took a chalkboard from their classroom from 1963 and put it down the left field line.
They have brand new dirt here on this field, though. I will give them
nice.
that.
Yeah,
brand
it's
new.
Not a bad complex. I just had to make fun of the scoreboard a little bit.
And there's a ground ball up the middle to the second baseman and over to first in time. That's going to retire the side. So the Bears get 1 run, no hits, a walk, and the Bears score first, but only record the 1 run. Only send 4 batters of inning number 1 after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Back in Dayton for the bottom half of inning number 1 as the Bear Lake Bears take the field for the first time. Brooklyn Crockett in the circle for the Bears today. Kaylee Culver behind the plate. Hallie Wells, the freshman, stepping in at first base because of injury. Hallie Perkins did twist her knee pretty good up in Glens Ferry in the Saturday morning game. Fortunately, she's seen doctors, nothing permanently wrong with it, nothing that needs to be at this point surgically repaired. So it's basically when she can tolerate the pain, she'll be back. She's telling us she's going to be back next week. So we're going to move Sadara Priest over to second base today. Hallie Wells will be down at first. Morgan Armstrong, shortstop, the senior, down at third. In left field, Hallie Bruce. Center field, Natalie Parslow, and right field is Cambria Romrell.
I'll tell you what, Jared, one thing that fascinates me about softball especially, and maybe a little bit of baseball, we haven't done enough baseball for me to tell, but in most baseball games you want a deep rotation of pitchers, at least 3-4 guys that can get you through, 3 to 4 innings. In softball, you can kind of run with the same main pitcher. Like Millett has Wrigley Peterson, you guys have Crockett. I mean, you can run with the same pitcher pretty consistently, whereas in baseball it seems like there's more of a heavy rotation of pitchers.
And it's part of it is rules. It's absolutely that way, and then when it comes time for rules, it's even more that way because, and I kind of explained this during the Malad game, but for those of you that are new to softball,
and I also couldn't hear you because
you couldn't. In fact, in softball, the underhand motion is a natural arm motion. It is what the shoulder joint is designed to do. So it puts a lot less strain on their arms, especially on young kids. Whereas baseball, an overhand fast pitch baseball throw is not a natural motion. And if you pitch too much, especially younger kids, if they pitch too much, it can actually cause permanent damage to their shoulders. So there are reasons for it. Plus, you don't physically wear out as fast in softball because of that. Because it's a natural arm motion, your legs in softball are probably going to give way before your arm does as Crockett delivers ball one. This is Sydney P. Don't know last name for sure at the plate. Sydney is the, I think, center fielder today. She's the one that got that out, and she is at the plate. She takes ball one. So that's a big reason you have multiple pitchers in baseball and sometimes a single pitcher in softball. In fact, a few years back, it's probably been almost 10 years ago now, Bear Lake had a pitcher that pitched almost every single pitch of the entire season. And this year's team isn't quite like that. Morgan Armstrong, the shortstop, and Lindsay Fisher, one of the sophomores that can come off the bench, does pitch in some games, but it is different. You make a good point. As ball three balls, one strike.
Well, and you talk about the amount of pitchers, especially in Major League. One of the biggest problems in baseball right now is the amount of UCL repair surgeries you're seeing between Tommy John surgery, that's the complete repair, or just UCL surgeries, which are partial repairs. And you don't see that as much in softball. As that was a hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch is that one inside. And it would have been ball four anyway if she would have got out of the way. So first batter of the game for the Pirates walks and will be down at first base.
And as I was saying, that overhand throwing motion just continuously. You think about a baseball pitcher, if they throw more than 2,000 to 3,000 pitches a season, between practice games, etc., that puts heavy amounts of stress on that UCL joint, while in softball, the more you explain it, the more that makes sense just of a natural motion.
Ball one to Hallie T. Don't know the last name. I'm not going to speculate here. Hallie T takes ball one outside. The runner does not go, so remains at first base. One ball, no strikes, no outs. One on here in the bottom of the first. Bears lead at 1-0. Ball's in play, high pop fly. It's into right field. Cambria Romrell underneath it makes the catch for out number one. Nice play there by Romrell, the sophomore. Bringing that one in. On a windy day, these outfield fly balls aren't quite as easy as they'd normally be. She made that one look easy. And we got the third batter now of the inning at the plate. Gotta look at my roster here. It's number 5, another Hallie Wade. I believe this is the pitcher, and she's going to ground out to first base. Hallie Wells will tag her out. And so on a first pitch, grounds it down the first base line, and she is out at first. Does advance the runner to second, but 2 outs in the inning now.
And it's fascinating. Walking over to this field, I thought that was going to be a bit of a helping wind from the back, but it's more of a cross wind coming from the right to left or left to right if you're on home plate.
Third baseman Grace T takes ball one high. Runner still down at second. 2 out, nope, and just the one runner here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Fly ball. And Romrell's underneath it in foul territory. Cannot quite bring it in. The wind affected that. She looked like she was underneath it, so it's just a foul ball for strike one.
It's just a heavy crosswind. Anything going to right field is going to get pushed.
Yep, further right.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, judging a fly ball here in this wind is a lot harder. You've got to adjust for quite a bit of spin.
And that's exactly what happened there. Cambria thought she was underneath it. The wind just kept pushing it further and further. She couldn't quite get to it. And here's another foul ball. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner down at second. 1-0 game. Bears in the lead here in the bottom of the first inning. And you can hear the wind in our microphones. It's a pleasant day. It's not a super cold day, but it is windy, and you can hear it in our microphones. We do apologize for that. Crockett set to deliver the 1-ball 2-strike pitch. It's a ground ball, and it's going to be a foul ball. Down the third baseline, slow roller. Ear will toss it back to Crockett, and she'll deliver another 1-ball 2-strike count with 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, that is one of the beauties of football season, is the fact that most of the time we're in a box, whether that's,
except for here at Westside.
But again, they spend all their money on fireworks, and that's it. But
Nate. And a strikeout to retire the side. A swing and a miss on an inside curveball, we'll call it. And that's going to retire the side. Bears due up in the bottom half of the top half, of the second inning right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on SVI Media is made possible by Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll. Here to help. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Lenhard Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. And you save Phillips 66. Live life to the full.
Getting ready for the top of the second here from Westside High School. Bear Lake Bears lead at 1-0 after 1. Only 4 batters came to the plate for the Bears. 4 batters came to the plate for the Pirates. Bears scored 1. It was Natalie Parslow who walked, stole second, moved to third on a wild pitch, and scored on a ground ball out. So the Bears manufactured a run kind of the hard way. Westside got their lead runner on a walk. She could not get past second base, and Addie Ure will lead off the second for the Bears. Wade, the pitcher, ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball, kind of a swinging bunt down the third baseline, up with it and in time for the out. Ure almost ran out that swinging bunt, couldn't quite get there. Just a slow roller, and she's out at first. So 1 pitch, 1 out in here in the top of the second inning.
And that's truthfully just a great play by the pitcher. That's a lot of ground to cover, get that throw off in time, and Addie's not slow by any stretch of the imagination.
No, they did tell us before the game, and we're seeing it. As the pitch is in there for strike 1, it looks like Romrell at the plate. And they did tell us this dirt, it is brand new, and it is soft and deep and slow for the runners. As it's 1 strike. And 1 ball now, as that one's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on.
I'll tell you what, any sort of new dirt when I was playing baseball was just an absolute nightmare because I was already slow enough as it is. So you add that to the equation, and it was just my worst nightmare, really. And
Romrell steps back out of the way of the inside pitch and then offers at it, so it's a swing and a miss. And that's when she had her front foot out of the batter's box, kind of relaxing, and then swung anyway. So here's the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. And she's out on strikes. She let strike 2. She swung at ball 2 and then watches strike 3. And so 2 outs. Hallie Wells, the freshman who's playing first base today. Like I said, this is because of Hallie Perkins' injury. Wells is going to play first base, and she's hit by the first pitch. She's playing first base. Sedera Priest moving over to second. And that will bring Kaylee Culver to the plate, the catcher, the senior catcher. And then Brooke Crockett, the pitcher, will be the 9th batter for the Bears if they get to that point. Either that or she'll lead off the 3rd. Culver stepping in the box, facing Wade. 2 out, runner at first on the hit by pitch. And swing and a miss at the first pitch. The Bears have yet to hit cleanly. And in fact, the only one that's made really good contact here in this first 2 innings was the leadoff batter, Morgan Armstrong, who drove it to the fence, and it was caught just in front of us for out number 1 of the game. Here's the pitch, number 2, and high for ball 1. Wells stays down at first base on the on the ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, runner at first, 2 outs, top of the second inning. Fast-paced game so far. There's not a lot of hits, not a lot of base runners. And this one's in the dirt, and Wells is going. She'll go into second easily with the stolen base. She was stealing all the way. It helped that there wasn't a throw because it was in the dirt, but we'll give her the steal anyway. So now, Wells in scoring position down at second base. Kaylee Culver, 2 balls, 1 strike is the count at the plate. The pitcher Wade comes set. Here's the pitch. And it's a check swing foul into the backstop. So that evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner at 2 here in the second. But we do have 1 run. 1 run in the first inning by Bear Lake. No runs in the first inning by the Pirates. The Bears up 1-0. Culver is going to foul that one back. Just underneath it, fouls it back to the backstop. Wells will retreat to second base, and we'll have another 2-2 offering as the wind picks up just a little bit more even.
Gotta love it.
Beautiful sunny day though. Culver set for the 2-2 pitch. Here's the pitch. Swing, pop fly. It's going to fall. It's going to stay fair and over to first. And it's a bad throw. And Culver is safe at first. Wells scores. It was a swinging pop fly bunt right between the pitcher and the catcher where neither one of them could get through to it. And the throw was offline. And so Culver goes down to first. Wells scores on the air. And the Bears take a 2-0 lead, and that will bring Brooklyn Crockett to the plate. The pitcher steps into the box. And Culver down at first. And the courtesy runner is Taylin DeClark. So if you're not familiar with high school baseball and softball, you can have a courtesy runner run for your pitcher and your catcher. It doesn't count as a substitution, and that is to speed the game up a little bit. And DeClark down at second after stealing the base on ball 1, and now called strike on the second pitch. So 1 ball, 1 strike. DeClark still at second in scoring position, especially with her speed and 2 outs. She'll be going on the crack of the bat. If Crockett can put it in play here and hit safely, it should score another run. As Bears up 2-0 here in the second. Here's the pitch. And a high fly ball. That's going to be a home run. Brooklyn Crockett puts it in play. Everybody's going to score on that one. Beautiful hit into deep right field for the home run. Brooklyn Crockett, that's what you want to do as a pitcher. Help yourself out. Put a couple runs on the board. It's now 4-0. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Morgan Armstrong will come to the plate now with the bases empty. And the Bears with a 4-0 lead. So Armstrong, her first at bat, drove one right here to the fence. It looked like it might get out off the bat, and Nate was going to have to catch it. And it was just short of the fence for the first out of the game. And now she steps back in the second inning with bases empty, 2 outs. Armstrong, the shortstop, backup pitcher, all around. Could play pretty much any position on the field. It's just quite an athlete. And takes ball 1. And she'll step in to face the 1 ball, no strike count. Bears leading at 4-0 on the Brooklyn Crockett home run. Good for Brooklyn. And Armstrong, it's in the air, shorter fly ball this time. The center fielder drops it. Had quite a run to get there. And she drops it. Looked like it was going to be the 3rd out of the inning. And instead, Armstrong at first. Natalie Parslow, who hit a home run in the Glens Ferry tournament, is at the plate. Parslow's got a couple home runs on the season. She's also got the speed. She can bunt. But I'm sure with 2 outs, she'll be swinging here. Here's the pitch. And she is swinging, and she's going to drive it for a single into left field. Armstrong will stop at second. Nice little single into left field for Natalie Parslow. Now all of a sudden, 2 Bears with the 2-out rally. First 2 batters of the inning were outs. Since then, the Bears have scored 3 runs with a home run, a couple base hits, a hit by a pitch, and here's Hallie Bruce. Stepping in the box with a couple girls on base, including Armstrong with a lot of speed at second and Parslow with a lot of speed at first. Here's the pitch, and it's high. Armstrong's going to steal third on the pitch. So the pitch was taken for a ball, and both runners were going, so a couple of stolen bases. As now two runners with a lot of speed and scoring position, especially with two outs going on the crack of the bat. They don't have to wait to tag up on a fly. If Hallie Bruce can put it in place here, could score two. She swings and misses at the changeup. She's going to be frustrated with that one. The swing and the miss. We call her Sharky because there are just too many Hallies on the team. Her last name's Bruce, and so Bruce, the shark from Finding Nemo.
I put that one.
Sharky.
Yeah, I put that one together, Jared. I got you.
And here's the pitch. It's behind her. It's going to be a pass ball. Armstrong is going to attempt to score, and she's out. Nice play by the catcher. And Armstrong, trying to advance on the pass ball, is out at home plate. And that will end the inning, but not before the Bears score 3. And the Westside Pirates, trailing now 4-0, will come up in the bottom of the second. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
Have you checked out the most awesome Ford store in eastern Idaho? We've been around for years.
And we've got top awards in the region for customer service and satisfaction.
We're Caribou Ford in Soda Springs.
Right now, we have the best inventory around and more on the way.
Or you can custom order your new car or truck just the way you like it.
We're Caribou Ford with the famous warranty forever.
And we're still keeping it simple in Soda Springs.
Bears leading it 4-0 as we are ready for the bottom of the second inning. Here's the throwdown from the catcher on the warm-up toss. And Bears set to play defense here. Hadley A is coming up. She's the catcher for the Westside to lead off this bottom of the second. The Bears in the top of the bottom of the first. Westside did draw a hit by pitch to start the inning, and then the Bears recorded 3 straight outs to retire the side, including a strikeout by Brooklyn Crockett, who is in the top 2 or 3 in the entire state, by the way, in strikeouts this year. She's been going back and forth with one other pitcher on a day-by-day basis. She's doing very well, just about leading the state in the 2A level in the strikeouts. Had one to end the inning. Here's the first pitch of the second inning. It's taken outside for ball 1. And that pitch right there that she just threw, you'd call it a curveball in baseball, but you throw it differently in softball because it's the underhand motion. It starts inside or over the plate, and then it curves to the outside. Ball in play down to the shortstop. Armstrong over to first in time.
What a play there.
Nice play. She had to go a long way to her right, turn, and make that throw. And that was a great play by Morgan Armstrong. Good stretch by the freshman Hallie Wells. When you're like 17 feet tall, it helps. No, she's what, 6 feet tall?
She's tall.
And she made a great stretch there, the freshman, to record the out.
What a great play by Armstrong at shortstop, though, picking that ball backhanded and swinging it to first in time. As the first pitch is low, ball 1.
And this is Danica at the plate, number 9. She is the right fielder for Westside. The Bears have now retired 4 in a row, 4 Pirates in a row, leading back to the first inning. This was a ground ball in play to the second baseman Priest over to first in time. 3 pitches in the inning, 2 outs already. As making quick work of this inning so far are the Bears. And 2 outs already with nobody on. They've only had 1 base runner, and that was a hit by pitch. Sarah G at the plate now for Westside, and she's going to pop that one up in play over to third base. Out.
Talk about efficiency. A 4-pitch inning. You can't really beat that.
Yeah.
That's value there.
So great inning there. And as the pop out to third base ends the inning, as Adier secures the pop out, Bears will come up with their number 3 hitter, Hallie Bruce, to lead off the top of the third, leading 4-0. We'll be back with that third inning right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
I've always said this about title companies. We all do the same exact thing. But it's the people that make the difference.
This new brand is going to represent who we are.
Honesty, integrity, loyalty, kindness, hard work, thoroughness. Nobody would buy anything without knowing they're getting it free and clear of somebody else's debt or problems. And that's the whole purpose of a title search, is to make sure that we can ensure clear title.
And it was critical that we have a brand that really describes that.
The team at the Montpelier office of Flying S Title and Escrow are ready to assist you with your next real estate transaction and are proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. Visit Flying S Title and Escrow at 469 Washington Street or call 208-847-1300. Also available at fste.com.
Back here for the top of the third. I almost said top of the third inning. The Bears lead at 4-0. Brooke Crockett, the hero so far. She has retired the side. She's got one of those things you don't talk about going on after 2 innings. She did walk the first batter, hit her of the game, and then she's retired the next 6. And she also is accounting for 2 of Bear Lake's 4 runs on her 2-run home run in the bottom of the second. So Brooke Crockett, the junior, having herself a day so far for the Bears. Holly Bruce, who was at the plate last inning when Morgan Armstrong was caught trying to advance on the wild pitch thrown out at home, will step back into the box to lead off inning number 3. She's the number 3 hitter in the lineup. Holly Bruce is a senior. She's got a great bat, hits the ball hard, a lot of line drive hits from Bruce and Priest. Both the next 2 batters are similar. Their styles are different at the plate, but their results are very similar in how they hit the ball. And Bruce is going to ground this one to the third baseman, up with it in the dirt, and she's safe. That was a long throw, and it got a little short getting there. The first baseman couldn't bring it in, so Bruce reaches on an error.
And I'll tell you what, playing first base in that kind of a condition with fresh sand, the ball just doesn't bounce the way it typically does. So picking something out of the dirt's your worst nightmare over there at first base. When it's in the dirt, you never know how it's going to react coming off that ground.
And pitch is a ball, and Bruce steals. And she was going all the way, so we'll give her the stolen base. And throws up the line almost into left field. Good defensive play by Westside to stop that from being a throwing error. Bruce will stay at second base. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Runner at second now. Here's the pitch. It's going to be ball 2. And as a first baseman over there, I scored that as a single, because that was a long throw and it was going to be a bang play even if she would have brought it in. So, but that is a tough play when it's in this soft dirt. The ball's not going to roll real fast, and just made it a difficult play. As ball 3 in their 3-0 count to Sedera Priest, another senior on this softball team, and she's squaring to bunt. I'm sure she's not going to, and she takes ball 4 inside. That's a strategy you see a lot of times, and Sedera adopted right there. You square to bunt, make that get in the eyesight of the pitcher just a little bit, make it even harder to pitch that strike, and it works right there to draw a walk. So now 2 on, nobody out. Addie Ure, another senior, the third baseman who caught the pop fly to end the inning, that last inning at the plate. Addie will swing on the first pitch, drives it to the shortstop, who goes down to third base to record the out. Nice hard ground ball, but it was right at the shortstop, made that play easy for her. And retires Hallie Bruce down there at third base.
One of the things about softball and baseball that I think players have a love-hate relationship is a 3-0 count, because a 3-0 count, you're working the count well, it gives you an advantage, but it's also the strategy of the game. You don't exactly want to take a 3-0 pitch right down the middle, and it hurt me to do every time.
You know it's coming. As Romrell squares to bunt, pulls back for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and second. It's Priest at second. She squares to bunt again, and this time she is going to bunt it on the inside pitch. It's going to bunt it foul. That's one that, even though the coach called the bunt, maybe Cambry should have stepped out of the way, let that go for ball 2, but she fouls it off. No harm, no foul. She's got 2 more strikes, so she'll step back in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Priest at second. You're at third, and it is a 3-0 count, and you know a lot of times that pitch is going to come right down the middle. Here's the pitch. Romerl swinging this time. It's a slow ground ball. Everybody's going to be safe. We're going to call that a single. Just an infield singles. That was a slow roller. The pitcher picked it up and tried to throw it over to third. It was not in time. Sadara Priest was in there easy, and there's no way she gets Romerl at first on that. So a slow rolling ground ball infield single loads the bases up for we're out of Holly Wells. We're not our normal batting order, so I had to actually look at it here as well. Swings and misses at strike 1. Wells was hit by a pitch. Her first at bat came around to score for run number 2 of the game. Bears lead at 4-0. Bases loaded, 1 out. Priest at third. You're at second. Romerl at first after the ground ball single. Here's the pitch. Wells going to put that in play straight down the middle for a single. Seeing eye single, bounces off a second. You're is going to score, and Romerl is going to be thrown out at third. So 2 runs scored. You're is thrown out at third. Romerl thrown out at third, trying to advance. So the single scores 2, and then an out at third. So good result. 2 other runs score.
So the first pitch of that at-bat's going to be a wild pitch behind the catcher, and Wells will advance to third base on the wild pitch. 1-0 the count.
And Wells at third now. 1 ball, no strikes. And this one's also a wild pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. And Wells smartly doesn't try to go for home. The backstop here is deep. There's a lot of space back there, but it's cement. So if the ball is low and it bounces off the cement, it quite often comes right back to the pitcher, and it did on that time as Culver offers at ball 3. Swing and miss. I shouldn't say ball 3. The third pitch. It was a strike. It was a good swing.
That was a smart swing. It was just a good pitch.
I meant the third pitch and I said ball 3. Here we go. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at third. 2 runs in the inning. Here's the pitch, and this one is fouled back into the backstop. So Culver on her first at bat, she reached on an error. She grounded it back to the pitcher. That was the one that the pitcher threw it away. A run scored on that. So she's 0 for 1 in the game, but she did reach base. Runner now at third. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, payoff pitch coming with 2 outs in the inning and a runner at third in a 6-0 game as the Bears lead it here in the top of third. Culver looking to put some more runs on the board if she can put the ball in play here. Here's the pitch. And she'll take ball 4. She threw the bat towards the west side dugout. She picks it up, throws it to her own dugout. She'll trot down to first. She'll be replaced by the courtesy runner, DeClark. So without getting a hit yet in the game, Culver has been on base twice. She reached on an error. This time she draws the walk. Good at bat. And that will bring Brooklyn Crockett up to the plate. We know what she did her first at bat. A 2-run home run to right field. This time she got 2 runners on. Wells at first and Wells at third, and until this pitch is pitched, DeClark at second at first. And now DeClark will steal, and as it's called strike 1. DeClark is a freshman, and she absolutely flies. She's a great base runner. She's been the speed-up runner all year, even though she is just a freshman, and she has stolen bases on every catcher we have faced. And that one is taken outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, 2 on. Both runners in scoring position. Crockett, the pitcher, who has a home run already in this game, at the plate, trying to help herself out. If she can get a base hit here, 2 will most likely score and give her some padding. She takes ball 2 inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And you talk about having to take that 3-0 pitch that's going to come down the middle. Strike 1 to Crockett was a pitch that she was taking all the way to let the runner advance. So she had to watch a strike fly by knowing that she wasn't going to swing at it. Here's the pitch, and it's inside, ball 3. A ball here would load the bases and bring up Armstrong, who's hit the ball well twice in this game.
And I mean, to be fair, Jared, I don't think I've ever seen a pitch I didn't like. If it was close to the zone, I probably wanted to swing at it. Could have been, 6 inches high, and I still was going to take a rip.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, ball 4. Or did they call that a strike? Must have called it a strike. It looked to me like it was high, but we don't have a great vantage point, so I'm not going to criticize the call. And the fact that Crockett stepping it back in, he obviously called it a strike, so 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's going to be ball 4. That one was inside. So that loads the bases up. Let's see if Crockett runs for herself or if he speeds up for her. He's going to let her run. So bases are loaded with Bears. Wells, DeClark, and Crockett on the bases. No, it is going to be a courtesy runner. It looks like it's going to be Brooklyn Pope. So Brooklyn will replace Brooklyn. Pope running for Crockett. And the Bears have the bases loaded. And Morgan Armstrong at the plate. Here's the pitch. And it's inside and low for ball 1. And Pope almost stole second, but there was a runner there, so they threw to first, trying to get her out. Wells does not score from third, so bases loaded, 1 ball, no strikes. Just a very noisy nothing is what that turned out to be. Here's Armstrong. She swings, drives it down the third base line, foul. Nice play over there by Coach Pope as he fields the foul ball. DeClark and Wells retreat, and Pope retreat to their bases. 1 ball, 1 strike. Armstrong has hit the ball hard twice. She reached on an error and then flew out to center field. She takes that one for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I'll tell you, one thing that's always fascinating to me is baseball and softball swings are a lot like golf swings. It's all about fundamentals. You sit there and think, if I swing this bat harder, the ball's going to go further. No, it's all about technique. You just got to... Good contact goes a long ways.
Good contact and hit the ball in the sweet spot. So you bring up a good point. What's the difference between a baseball swing and a softball swing?
Opening up the hips, essentially.
Actually,
more close.
Actually, there may be a little bit there, but not much. They're actually, we teach basically the same swing. And ball 4 is going to score a run. As I'm not sure if that hit her or if it was just far enough inside for ball 4. Either way, Morgan Armstrong moves down to first, runs, scores on the walk. So Armstrong gets an RBI by watching four pitches fly by and fouling 1 off. Bears lead it now 7-0. Bases still loaded. 2-out rally going on here as Natalie Parslow, who has a single in this game, is at the plate. Here's the pitch. And she's going to ground that one to the shortstop, who flips it over to third base for out number 3. So a ground ball ends the inning. But not before the Bears add a couple more. They lead now 7-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the third right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
You have a list of things. None of those things say wander around a warehouse looking for somebody to help you, or walk out not knowing if you got exactly what you need. Nope, you have a list of things, and Ace has them, from the brands you trust. We also have people like Pete who ask the right questions to make sure you get everything you need. Because at Ace, we have our own list, and great service is at the top.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
So back here for the bottom of the third inning, Nate misunderstood me. He said, what's the difference? I said, what's the difference between baseball and softball? He heard, what's the difference between softball and golf? Yeah, the swings are definitely different in softball and golf. But baseball and softball, they're essentially the same swing. The pitch is coming at a different angle, underhand coming up instead of overhand coming down, but the swing is essentially the same for baseball and softball. And if you're one of those people out there that you're at the softball game and you yell, keep your elbow up, don't, please. That is a slow pitch strategy. You don't want the elbows in the air for fast pitch. Just saying. We hear that a lot at games. And yes, in slow pitch, when I was a slow pitch hitter back in my glory days of church ball, you want to keep your elbow up, but not for a fast pitch. So here we go. leading off the bottom of the third is Kenzie B., number 18, the second baseman for the Westside Pirates, trailing 7-0. Crockett delivers. Foul ball straight back over the backstop. 4-pitch inning last inning for Crockett.
I'm going to keep it real with you, Jared. My slow pitch softball days, I kind of just took the golf swing and used it as baseball, except for softball, just kept the arm straight, came through it, and it worked all right.
Here's the pitch. It's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's only pitch number 19 of the game for Crockett. So she only had 17 pitches through 2 innings. That's pretty efficient work.
About as efficient as you can get.
Especially after you walk the first batter. So actually she recorded 6 outs in 13 pitches. That's efficiency. She throws ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. First batter of the bottom of the third inning here for the Westside Pirates, who trailed the Bears 7-0. And, hey, the wind died for just a second.
You can't
Shouldn't have said that.
Ever.
Ball 3 inside. So Crockett, who's pitched very efficiently, having a hard time finding the zone right now. And Kenzie B., the second baseman, 8th batter of the lineup for the Pirates. The Bears have been all the way through their lineup almost 3 times. Two times plus. I guess only 2 batters have batted the 3rd time, because that was a swing and a miss for strike 2, full count now. And the Pirates yet to get all the way through the lineup here. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing, ground ball up the middle. Almost hits Crockett. She's been the recipient of line drives several times this year. That hard ground ball, first hit of the game, is going to go into center field. Natalie Parcelo gets it quickly back in. And that is the first hit. She had a no-hitter going through 2. And only the second base runner of the game, as the first runners we already talked about walked. And now this is Sis W. I don't know if that's a nickname or her actual name, but that's what they put on the roster, is Sis W. She is the left fielder, number 14. Here's the pitch, and fouled out of play over the Bear Lake dugout for strike 1.
I'll tell you one thing, Jared. The difference between Wi-Fi indoors in Dayton, Idaho and outdoors in Dayton, Idaho is night and day. You can actually get a stream out here from the hotspot. And indoors, you can't produce a phone call, let alone a stream.
It is nice being out here. And it is better. The football field, there's just enough people around and buildings around to interfere with the signal a little bit, I think. But right here out in center field, we're getting a good signal.
So nice just to be able to relax and put on a stream without worrying.
And inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner still at first here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Westside's yet to advance a runner past second base. Bears will put 7 runs across the plate and left plenty of batters on base. The Bears have left 5 runners so far. As a ball, and the strike zone's small today, and it's consistent. Morgan Armstrong walked that last inning on. There were 2 or 3 pitches that from here I would have called strikes, and so very consistent strike zone, but very small strike zone. That one's going to hit her on the arm. That one's going to hurt. So back to the top of the lineup. 2 on now after a single up the middle and a hit by pitch.
That's one of them that it looked like just caught her in the elbow. It's one of those that's a stinger right there, right in the funny bone. Never feels good. It's not funny, Jared. It's not funny.
I don't know why they call it a funny bone, because it never is funny when it's funny for everybody else usually.
Well, it's funny for everybody else because you're acting like a baby, but it's not funny for you because it sucks.
So Sydney, the center fielder who has recorded an out as a fielder in this game, is going to be the batter. She was hit by a pitch her first at bat, so she reached on her first at bat. So 2 on, nobody out. Leadoff batter at the plate for the Pirates. Crockett in the circle. Here's the pitch, and it's a foul ball off the backstop for strike 1. So Crockett has had a little bit of problem hitting the zone. A couple of batters, 2 hit by pitch and a walk in the game. No, just the 2 hit by pitch. She didn't walk anybody. And giving up the 1 hit. She's pitched 28 pitches through 2+ innings here. This is a pop fly. It's going to be a single into left field, and it's just going to be a single. No, the runners are all going to stay. Little pop fly into the left fielder, in front of the left fielder, Hallie Bruce. No way she's going to get to that one. Way too short. But fortunately, she's able to make a good play on the ball, keep the runners from advancing. So now bases are loaded with nobody out.
And that's one of those tough tweener distances there for the base runner. If you could go on a line drive, you probably score there if you're West Side. But since it's floating in the air just enough that they might get there, you kind of have to tag a little bit, make sure it drops.
And it's
bases are loaded instead.
And it's shallow enough. There's no way she's scoring once she saw the ball hit the ground. Because you don't want to risk the throw. Ball 1. So 2 hits and a hit by pitch in the inning. Load the bases with nobody out. Hallie T at the plate. Her first at bat, she flew out to the right fielder, Romerell. And she takes ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Or was that one a foul ball? I'm thinking it was a foul ball because it went to the backstop. I was looking down at my paper here, my stats. A fly ball would score a run here as the bases are loaded with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Taken for a strike. So the Bears lead it 7-0, but the West Side Pirates here in the bottom of the third is threatening to get right back in this game. They've loaded the bases with nobody out yet. Crockett comes to the plate. Called strike. She struck her out. And that's the first out of the inning. Hallie Wade, the pitcher, coming to the plate. Her first at-bat. She grounded out to first baseman Hallie Wells. Now she comes up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Called strike. So after getting herself in some trouble, loading up the bases, Crockett has got a strikeout and a strike 1 ahead in the count to the number 3 hitter Wade for the West Side Pirates. Here's the pitch. Just missed on that one. Great looking pitch. You like that one if you're a Bear Lake coach. That's inside and just barely misses the plate. That's a hard one to hold off on and definitely one that's going to be hard to hit if you do offer at it. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Called strike 2. Brooklyn Crockett has kind of dialed in these last couple batters after hitting that batter to load the bases. He loaded to put the 2 runners on and then giving up the single to load the bases. She said settled in, got a strikeout. She's now up in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's inside in the dirt, but knocked down well by Culver. That's another pitch you're okay with when you're up 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, it was an inside fastball, not so far inside that it was ridiculous, and you hope the batter's going to offer on a pitch that's going to be hard to do anything with. Wells and Wade showing good restraint there, holding back, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. And she struck her out. That one is that kind of curveball that Crockett is so good at throwing. It starts out looking like it's inside, cuts back out over the plate, and it hits the outside corner. Strike 3. So after loading the bases, Crockett has struck out 2 in a row, and now she's got Grace T at the plate. And if I remember correctly, Grace struck out in the first inning, and she swings and misses that one. Throw down to first is not in time. So Culver makes a great throw down there, doesn't quite get her. But it's 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded, and the Bears up 7-0. West Side looking to get back in this game here. Would love a 2-out rally. That one's a high for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Crockett struck out 2 after loading the bases, looking to end this inning without any damage and leave the Pirates stranded here. Crockett comes to the plate. Here's the pitch. Nice, beautiful swing and a miss. Great pitch there from Crockett. And she's got a chance to get herself out of the inning now up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As she's got Grace T, the third baseman, at the plate. And that one is inside for ball 2. Great restraint there from the batter to not offer that pitch when you got 2 strikes on you. Sometimes it takes discipline. When it's close, she lets that one go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases full of Pirates, but 2 outs here in the inning. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. She lives to fight another day. Fought off that pitch. So it remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the bases are loaded due to a single hit by pitch and another single that wasn't deep enough to score the runner from second, but did load the bases. Here's the payoff pitch. It's going to be a ground ball down to second baseman Priest, over to first in time. That ends the threat as the Bears let the Pirates load the bases, but then Crockett gets 2 strikeouts and a ground ball out to end the inning. And after 3, it's 7-0. We'll be back with the top of the 4th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Nate's making fun of me off the air.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm having a great time.
No, we were talking about cold reading things on the air, and sometimes you go to read something and then it doesn't say what you expect it to say, and you sound silly. But
gosh, I said something backwards this morning, Jared, that didn't even make any sense. Like, every now and again you get your words mixed up and it just doesn't come out. Like, I tried to say committee and it was like commitment, and it sounded so stupid.
So what he was teasing me about, some of you were probably listening yesterday morning when I did the sports. I was saying the who won in major leagues, and I went to say the Twins over I don't even remember who they're playing. And I stopped because the Twins is scoring 0 runs. I'm like, how do you win a game when you score 0 runs? But they had them as the winners, and so
0 to -1.
It threw me off. As Hallie Bruce, who was leading off the inning for the second inning in a row, as the Bears batted around last inning to extend their lead to 7-0, takes ball 1 high.
I remember the first time I did that one. It was ridiculously hard because they don't put a comma or anything between them.
They don't, and if you get accidentally off, which I sometimes do, and then all of a sudden you're reading the wrong one, and so that's why I paused. I'm like, how could they win with 0 runs? I must be off. And then I double-checked myself, and I was on, so I just went with it. So I sounded silly. One of those things I probably should have stopped the recording and started over, but, as Bruce fouls one off and then takes one in the dirt, so she's up 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's a lot harder than you think sometimes. It's like reading aloud for me is the hardest thing because it's easy to read it in your head and get so far ahead of where you're at.
Hallie Bruce with a high pop fly in the infield. It's trouble, and it falls as the shortstop and the second baseman came together kind of right in that no man's land. It was one of the plays they probably should make but don't make in that situation. And Hallie Bruce reaches base on an error. She's playing left field today. Bears, a little bit different than normal, have Sadara Priest, who's at the plate, playing second base, as Hallie Perkins, the normal second baseman, has a knee injury, so Priest moves over from her first base spot down to second base, as that pitch is behind the batter and a wild pitch, and Bruce will advance to second. And then Hallie Wells playing over at first for the Bears. So that's the major change to the lineup, is Priest, hard foul ball down the third base line. And she got a good swing on that one, but just got around on it too quick and just drives it foul down the third base line. So Priest at the plate today. This is her third at bat. And she grounds another one down third base. She grounded out to the second baseman, and she walked in her 2 previous bats. So she's 0 for 1 on the day. And she's down 1 ball, 2 strikes after 2 foul balls. And you can hear the Bear Lake players harassing Coach Pope, who tried to field that. And then Priest gets hit with that pitch. She'll advance down to first. So she's been on base twice. and she's 0 for 1 on the game, a walk and a hit by pitch. That's one stat that I wish that more young players would understand. You do not have to get a base hit to reach base. Priest has had a great game today without actually ever doing much with the bat. She's done it by making good choices. Ure grounds this one to the shortstop. She comes up with it over to first in time, but both runners will advance. So Ure, first pitch swinging, hits the ground ball to the shortstop. She's out at first, but the runners do advance. And as a coach, that's another one you obviously prefer a base hit there, but you're okay with advancing the runners, especially with nobody out. And that brings Romrell to the plate. So far in the game, she has struck out and she's singled. She takes strike one. With Priest at second, Bruce at third. Bears leading 7-0. Romrell at the plate. The sophomore right fielder takes that one inside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Romrell steps back in there, ready for the pitch from Wade. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Priest and Bruce on the bases at second and third, so they're in scoring position with 1 out. They're not moving on the crack of the bat, but a deep fly ball will score at least 1. If it's a base hit, might score 2 here. Romrell swings the bat well. Here's the pitch. She takes that one high for ball 3. So after getting a called strike on the first pitch, she hasn't found anything to offer at yet. She's up 3 balls. 1 strike. And Nate's over here thinking that the umpire is Angel Hernandez. As that one hits Romrell, she'll advance down first.
Ball 1 was strike one was about 7 miles off the plate. It was like 3 strike zones over, and then he called a ball in the next pitch that was like practically down the middle.
So it
evens out. But
did you see that all this criticism? If you don't know, Angel Hernandez is a major league umpire that is criticized as the ball's in play, first pitch swinging, and it's going to be over to first in time for the out, but a run will score. So Wells hits the ground ball to the shortstop, but she does knock a run in. Anyway, Hernandez struck a guy out on 3 pitches that when they do the computerized, all 3 pitches missed by at least 6 inches. And so as Culver reaches base again, she has reached base now 3 times, and she's been hit by a pitch a couple times and walked. So again, going back to that earlier when I was saying you don't always have to hit the ball to get on base. She hit the ball hard, reached on an error, walked, and hit by a pitch. So she's 0 for 1 in the game, but she's been on base 3 times. Kids, you put the ball in play, good things happen. You make good choices and walk, and good things happen. And Kaylee Culver has done her job well today, even though she's yet to get a base hit. As a called strike for pitch number 1, Brooklyn Crockett on the day. What has she done at the plate? Oh, her first at bat was just like a rocket to right field for a home run. As this pitch goes behind the batter, good choice by the runners to not advance because it hits the backstop and bounces right back to her. So Crockett has a home run and a walk. She's 1 for 1 on the day. And she's 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at all 3 bases for Crockett. The number 9 batter in the order. She takes ball 2, 2 high and outside. No place to put her. You gotta pitch to her here. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Crockett, that home run was deep. She hit that ball hard. And here's the pitch. Ball 3, just high and a little inside. That's one that, didn't miss by much, but missed by enough that this is a hitter's count right here. 3 balls, 1 strike.
It absolutely is. Gives you the opportunity to just load up and swing.
It's probably going to be a good one, and she does load up and swing. She hits it down the right field line. It's going to go foul. So that loads the count. Now the runners are going on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners are sprinting towards the next base on the pitch because
it doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference. If it's a ball, it's a walk. If it's a strikeout, the inning's over. If it's a base hit, you got a better chance at advancing. So the runner's going on the pitch. Payoff pitch, 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 outs. In the top half of the 4th inning, Wade comes to the plate. It's in play, ground ball, line drive right back to the pitcher.
Great play by Wade.
She makes the catch to save her life. And that will end the inning on a hard line drive right back to the pitcher. And the Bears load the bases, only score 1, but they still lead it 8-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine is committed to building safety at the mine and in the community. Recently, Simplot was awarded the Sentinels of Safety Award from the National Mining Association, while Safety Manager Wampa Roberts was named the Distinguished Safety Professional of the Year. Smoky Canyon Mine's rescue team consistently wins the Simplot Rescue Team competition. Simplot also dedicates resources for their annual Safety Day with area 5th grades. Simplot, bringing safety home.
Getting ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. The Bears lead at 8-0, only able to score 1, even though they loaded the bases a couple of times in the inning. And the hard line drive fielded well by the pitcher. It would have been a single that would have scored probably 2, as hard as it was hit right back up the middle, if the pitcher, Wade, doesn't make that play right there. So she saved herself from getting line drived, and she saved at least a run, as Crockett, who's hit the ball hard, has a home run, a walk, and that line out, will step back in the circle to be the pitcher. She's pitched well through 3 innings. She hasn't given up any runs. 2 hits, and she's hit 2 batters, so there have been base runners. In fact, they loaded the bases in the last inning. In fact, they loaded the bases with nobody out. Then Crockett had 2 straight strikeouts, caused a ground out to second, and got out of the inning without giving up any runs. And she takes an 8-0 run here into the bottom of the 4th. If you're wondering about run rules, mercy rules that do come into play in baseball and softball.
5th inning, correct?
It comes into play in the 3rd inning if you're up by 15, which the Bears are not. So in the 5th inning and on, it's a 10-run rule. So 15 runs after 3, 10 after 5. Bears leading by 8 after 3.5. With the Westside Pirates coming up in the bottom half now of the 4th. And Crockett in the circle for pitches ball 1. Crockett loves those strikeouts. She is, like I mentioned, in the top 2 or 3 in the entire state at 2A level in strikeouts this year as a pitcher. And that one's inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Hitting for the Westside Pirates, this is Hadley, the catcher, sitting in the 5 spot. And her first at-bat, this is only her 2nd time at the plate. Her first at-bat, she grounded out to the shortstop. That was that great play by Armstrong, going to her right, backhand and long throw across the diamond for the out. And Hadley steps in there, now leading 2 balls, no strikes. Crockett offers, and it's in the dirt for ball 3. So 3 straight balls to start the inning. She walked a batter to start inning number 3 and was able to get out of it without giving up any runs. She'd like to get the out right here. Danica and Sarah up next, the right fielder and the first baseman for the Westside Pirates here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch inside. Oh, called strike. Caught the inside corner. We're far enough away, I'm not going to criticize. I would have assumed ball 4, but we're far enough away, I'm not going to criticize the call. And he calls the strike, so 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning, Bears lead it 8-0 over the Pirates. Crockett, that one is ball 4.
I will say, like, as far as umpiring goes, it's not easy.
No.
Like Angel Hernandez, for example, if you're going to be consistent, at least you're consistently bad for both sides of the ball.
He does have a reputation for being consistently bad.
Like, truthfully speaking, as long as you're going to miss things, at least you're missing them both ways. Like, you start to learn with umpires where their strike zones are at and how to work them. So that's the same for the hitters and the pitchers, is that first pitch is outside ball one.
Actually, he said she offered at it, called it a strike for a swing and a miss. But it was outside. It would have been ball one. So you make the right call, except for you didn't see the swing.
I did not see the swing. There's a center fielder standing.
Yes, there is. You don't have a very good view of that. Ball one. I mean, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a ground ball, and it's going to be the runner is going to be out at second. She interfered with an attempt to make the play. So the runner will be safe at first, but out at second. And so Cedera Priest, as she attempted to make the play, was interfered with. And 1 out. So a walk. That batter's retired. Sarah G comes to the plate. And she is 0 for 1. She popped out to end the second inning, and she's going to be hit by the pitch. So Crockett is pitching well, but when she misses, she's missing far enough it's hitting their batters. That's about her 4th hit by pitch in the game. She's thrown 53 pitches through 3 1/3. Now runners at first and second, 2 outs. 1 out, 2 on. Kenzie B at the plate. She singled to center field. This was the line drive ground ball right back up the middle that nearly hit Crockett and was the first base hit of the game. Crockett comes to the plate. Just missed, ball 1. Outside corner there, taken for a ball. 8-0 your score. Westside Pirates trailing your Bear Lake Bears by a score of 8-0. Westside loaded the bases last inning, could not score. They have runners at first and second with only 1 out here in the 4th inning. And Crockett misses for ball 2. 2 balls, 0 strikes. Kenzie B, the second baseman at the plate. And she has 1 of 2 hits that the Westside Pirates have in the game as she singled up the middle earlier in the game, but was left stranded. And she's going to ground ball to the second baseman, Priest, who got the out at second, does not get the out at first, nearly got the double play. And so a fielder's choice records the out. Cedera Priest heads up play there, almost got the double play. It'll be runners at first and third, 2 outs. Sis at the plate. And like I said, I'm not, if you think I'm trying to make fun, I'm going right off their roster. It says Sis W. She's wearing number 14. She's playing left field. So, Sis at the plate.
I feel like there's been worse displays on the air.
And she was hit by a pitch at her first at bat. This is her second plate appearance. Crockett with 2 outs comes to the plate. Ball 1. Runner will go down to second. No throw by the catcher. In softball, where the bases are close enough together, that's almost a given, even at this level, that the chances of getting that runner going to second are slim, and there's a good chance you're going to give up a run because the runner at third is going to score because the bases are close enough together. In baseball, you have time sometimes to make that return throw and still get that out at home. In softball, it's very difficult as a swing and a miss on pitch number 2. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at second, third. Ball 2, a little bit high. Culver will look the runner back to second base and then back to third base, then go back to the pitcher, Crockett. So after 2 really efficient innings to start the game, Crockett has still been able to keep the Pirates scoreless, but she has thrown a lot more pitches as a swing and a miss right there. Strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. She's now thrown 60 pitches in the game through 3 2/3. After only throwing 17 in the first 2 innings combined. Here's the pitch. Pop fly, foul ball, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes still. 2 out. 2 on at second and third. 8-0 Bears lead. And they're out of softballs right now, so I got to go retrieve those foul balls before they can have a pitch here. So Crockett now in the circle. ready for the pitch. Here it is, and it's outside. Loads the count. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. First base is empty, so she does have a room to put her for a walk. You don't have to pitch it right down the middle here. This is the number 9 hitter in the order. See what Crockett can do with her on the payoff pitch. 2 out, 2 on. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be out number 3. Pop fly to the first baseman, Hallie Wells. And the Bears get out of the inning again. Give up a couple base runners. But nobody is able to score as Hallie Wells, for the second time in the game, retires the side by catching a pop fly. Bears will go to the top of the 5th, leading by a score of 8-0. We will be back with the top of the 5th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
8-0 as we come back to the top of the 5th inning. Leadoff hitter Morgan Armstrong will come to the plate for the Bears, as we're 90 pitches in for Hallie Wade, the West Side pitcher. Long conversation between the West Side coaches and the umpires between innings. I think they were trying to get an explanation either on the ground ball to second that Priest tried to turn the double play on, or the runner interference. I'm not sure what they didn't like, because both of them looked like fairly straight-up plays to me, but anyway. These coaches over here, the Wades, have been coaching for a long time. Great coaches. They're some of my favorite coaches that I've ever coached against. They're good people. They're passionate about the game, very competitive, but just really good people to deal with, good coaches to coach against, like their passion for softball. As Armstrong took ball 1, and then she drives one to left field. It's going to be foul? She is 0 for 2 with a walk. She's hit the ball hard twice. The first time it was caught right in front of us at the fence. The second time was an error. Should have been caught, but was not. Hit off the fielder's glove for an error. And this time she hits it again hard, but out into left center field. So she's hit the ball hard every time she's been to the plate, except for the time she walked, but she's 0 for 3. Nothing to show for it. As a nice play made by the center fielder, Sydney, to record the out. And now Natalie Parslow coming to the plate. And she hits a pop fly, going to be caught by the second baseman. She's now 1 for 2. She's got a walk, a single, and now she's been out twice. And she pops out for out number 2 to the second baseman, Kenzie. That'll bring Hallie Bruce to the plate. And
off
she's
the noggin.
I think it was her noggin or her shoulder? Oh,
the noggin.
It was her head. As she gets out of first base, she grabs the helmet.
That's
where we wear those.
Got her head in the game, Jared.
Not
in the way you want to. But.
She has now been on base twice. She's 1 for 3 in the game now with that hit by pitch. It brings Sodera Priest to the plate. Priest swings and misses. Strike 1. And Priest in the game has walked, been hit by a pitch, and grounded out to the second baseman. So she's 0 for 1, but she's been on base twice. And she's going to hit that one hard, but just foul. Hard ground ball, but a foul ball. So she's down, no balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner at first. Hallie Bruce got there by getting hit in the noggin. She's okay, by the way, if you're wondering.
That's what they have the helmets for, fortunately.
It was a glancing blow. It wasn't a direct, like, super hard fastball to the head. It just kind of glanced off her helmet. She's okay down there.
If I'm the pitcher, this is nowhere close.
And it hits her. It wasn't close. Just a little bit too far inside. She was trying to go for that inside fastball. Got it too far inside. And so Sedera Priest has been on base 3 times with a walk and been hit by 2 pitches. And that brings Addie Ure to the plate. Addie, first pitch swinging, last time grounded out. She's 0 for 3 with 3 ground outs in the game. Let's see what she can do here. She hits the ball. She's made good contact, just been right at people really hard so far in the game. And she takes ball 1 high, and that's an effort to get a ball high to her. Addie's tall. She takes ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. Top of the 5th. Bears lead at 8-0.
That sun feels really good, especially now that the wind has kind of subsided a little bit, I hope.
It's beautiful day out here.
Just a nice day.
Here's the pitch. Outside, it's going to go all the way to the backstop. Both runners will advance on the wild pitch. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Addie could do some damage here. Ure is up in the count. And I'll just say this. Addie is a very aggressive hitter. She's likely to offer a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt. And Bruce is going to score. So 2 wild pitches in a row allow the runners to advance on the first one. The second one, both runners advance this time. And that allows a run to cross the plate. So now it's 9-0. The game-ending, potentially, run now at third base. If you're up by 10 after 5 innings,
Does Westside get a chance?
Yes, they do, because they're the home team. As Ure does take strike 1. That's what you were talking about earlier. You got that 3-0 count. And you know the coach is going to tell you not to swing.
It just makes your heart drop because you want to swing at it so bad.
But you don't swing because when she's pitched 3 balls in a row, it's good chance she's going to pitch ball 4. And Ure smacks one into left center field. She's going to round first. She's going to be into second with a stand-up double. So that's what you like. Line drive double into right center field. Addie Ure gets the RBI. Sedera Priest, after getting hit by the pitch, comes around to score. Ure, with her first hit of the game, gives the Bears that 10-0 lead. And we have Romerell at the plate. And a wild pitch, and Ure's going to steal third. And that one, the pitcher caught it. So it's going to be a legit stolen base because the pitcher did catch that.
The catcher, you mean?
The catcher did catch that. It just took a single hop right into her glove. She came up throwing. Yep. Ure steals second. And Romerell, ahead 1 ball, no strikes. She has got a strikeout, an infield ground ball single, and was hit by a pitch. So she's 1 for 2 on the day. She has a chance to score a run if she can put one in play here. Just behind that one, foul ball out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner still at third.
You imagine if a pitcher caught too? Just pitch it and then run and catch it yourself. I mean, that's like D1 level.
You knew what I was saying.
But imagine that. The catcher pitches this one, the pitcher catches this one.
Romerell at the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. And she's going to drive it into center field. It's going to be a run-scoring single. So Romerell with a line drive single. And the Bears extend their lead now to 11-0. 2-out rallies have been the theme of the day. Wells steps to the plate, and she takes that one inside. Romerell is going to steal second.
Do you notice the scoreboard hasn't changed since 8-0?
Yes, I've noticed. But we are changing it, so we know it's 11-0.
It's 11-0.
Hallie Wells on the day, playing because they injured. She's just a freshman. She's filling in for the injured Hallie Perkins. She's actually playing first, which is where Sedera Priest usually plays. She is 1 for 2. She was hit by a pitch. She singled, and she grounded out. She got a chance to extend the lead here. Bears up 11-0.
Don't worry, though. They changed it to 9. It's now 9-0 on that board.
You must have missed a couple there. Anyway, 11-0 is your score. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 balls, and Hallie Wells ducks under that one. That would have been a hit by a pitch, but she takes it for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner at second, 2 out, and 3 in the inning. And the score is now 11-0 for the Bears. As Wells, the freshman, steps in there. She's going to drive that one. Hard ground ball to shortstop. She comes up with it and makes a throw. Good catch over there by the first baseman. Comes down with that high throw. So ground ball out to end the inning for the freshman Wells. Bears lead it, though, 11-0. We'll come back with the bottom of the 5th, see if the West Side can keep this game alive right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on SVI Media is made possible by Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll. Here to help, Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Lenhard Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. And you save Phillips 66. Live life to the full.
11-0 your score as we start the bottom of the 5th inning. If the Westside Pirates can't score some runs here, it will end the game as Brooklyn Crockett, 63 pitches through 4 innings, has had a great performance today. She's given up some base runners here and there, but she's been able to get the outs when she's needed them, and she's pitching the shutout to this point, and the Bears lead it 11-0. 10-run rule takes effect after 5. Top of the lineup, center fielder Sydney leading off for the Westside Pirates in the game. She is 1 for 1. She was hit by a pitch and then she singled. A little pop fly to left field. Her second at bat. Here's her third time at the plate. And Crockett just misses for ball 1, a little outside. And the scoreboard over there, it's the old-fashioned hang 'em up, not electronic scoreboard. They got it closer than now. They got it to 10-0. They're still missing a run as this one's pop fly back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
All I'm saying is if it was electronic, it'd be easier.
So the pitcher Crockett, 65 pitches, 35 of those have been strikes. And here's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So Crockett pitching pretty good game. And it has herself an 11-0 lead. This is one of those times as a coach you're saying, hey, don't give them meatballs down the middle, but make them be hitters. We got a big enough lead. We don't need to be walking people and giving them a chance to sneak their way back in it. This ball 2, a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. Last opportunity for Westside. If they want to extend this game, they got to put up at least 2 runs as they trail 11-0. Crockett to the plate. It's high. It's going to load the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch coming. And Sydney P., the batter, has been hit by a pitch in the first inning. She pop fly single. Her second at bat. Here's her third time to the plate. Has worked the count full. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Great pitch by Crockett, the junior pitcher for the Bears. Records another strikeout. Hallie T., now the batter. She's been to the plate twice. She flew out to Romrell in right field. Her first at bat, she struck out. Her second at bat, she's 0 for 2 on the day. And the Pirates need base runners right now. if they're going to come back and win this game or extend the game even. And she takes ball 1, a little high and outside. It was a rise ball. That's another pitch that's, defies the laws of physics if you're throwing overhand like a baseball player. But as you're pitching underhand, you can get a spin on it that causes it to rise. Rolls a little too much. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on. 11-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Bears leading the Pirates.
I guess it depends on delivery. Could you get a rise ball out of like a sidearm pitcher that's releasing
I guess
low?
if you were a sidearm pitcher, you might be able to get the proper spin, but it'd still be difficult. Ball 2.
Ridiculously hard to pull off.
Well, physics just doesn't allow for it because of the spin. You gotta have a spin that causes the ball to rise, and it's just hard to do. And that one's ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike.
I'm pretty sure I saw it one time in the summer of 2014, but it was insane. It's a sidearm pitcher.
Sidearm, like one of those submarine pitchers. I don't know.
That's what I'm blaming it on.
And strike 2 called. So full count again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Hallie T at the plate, the shortstop, wearing number 12. Brooklyn Crockett, your pitcher, wearing number 23. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be inside. Ball 4. So the Pirates have had base runners in every single inning except for the second. That was a 4-pitch inning for Crockett. They've got base runners. They just have not been able to advance those runners. They did even load the bases with nobody out in the 3rd inning. Could not bring anybody around. Now they have a runner at first. Hallie Wade, the pitcher, now the batter for the Pirates. She's going to take ball 1. So far in the game, she grounded out to the first baseman, struck out. Backwards K, her second time at bat, so she's 0 for 1 on the day. She takes ball 2. Couldn't see for sure where that one was. My view was blocked by the pitcher Crockett. It must have been high. So 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, runner at first. 11-0 game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch, and she's going to ground it. Oh, error. Sneaks through, and it's going to be basically the equivalent of a single. Sedera Priest not used to playing that position. That was a hard hit ball, and she's unable to bring it up. And so now runners at first and third with 1 out. So Sedera's played that position very well today. She's recorded multiple outs. She almost turned a double play over there. She's had a really good day playing out of position. First time in my career I've seen her play second base, and she's a senior, and I've coached her all the way through, so that says something. And runners going from third. I got to explain this play in a minute, as the runner's safe at home. So the ball, it was called a ball for ball 1. The runner from first advanced to second on a defensive indifference. A lot of times defenses will try to trick play, which they did right there. Culver threw it to the shortstop, hoping that the runner at third would try to advance. The throw was low in the dirt. Armstrong couldn't come up with it. The runner advanced from third and scored, and the runner Wade advances from second down to third. So now the run to extend the game is at third base. It's 11-1. If she scores, we go to the 6th inning with only 1 out. So that error right there, and by the way, foul ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. That error right there could prove costly to the Bears. It could extend this game. And ball is a wild pitch for ball 2, but the runner does not attempt to score.
That's one of those plays where it's kind of 50-50. If they attempted from the beginning to steal home there on the wild pitch, they might have got there, but it was their runner's not fully certain, and you don't have a chance once you stall.
Well, and you saw what happened to the Bears earlier in the game. Hallie Bruce didn't really stall, and the ball just bounced right back to the catcher as a swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and she was out at home. So that's one of those, in this situation, if you're West Side, you're grateful she didn't try it there, because if she scores, it extends the game, but if she's thrown out, your chance to extend the game maybe goes out the window. So you'd rather her wait till she's certain. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at third, 1 run in already in the game, in the inning, and that's a foul ball. So it's going to remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But it also does bring into question strategy, because honestly, if you're the Westside Pirates here, you haven't hit the ball necessarily fantastic today. You've hit them hard, just into the wrong spots. So you kind of have to manufacture runs where you're going to get them. So it's just one of those things that you can look back on maybe and wish that you would send.
Just missed for ball 3. Full count again. Every single batter, and I think in this inning, has worked a full count. So the Pirates have been very patient at bat in this inning, trying to extend the game here. And you mentioned the wind had stopped. Thanks for doing that.
Well, it's a light breeze. Let me curse it even more.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's going to be low. Ball 4. So that's a situation where Crockett was trying to make sure she didn't get a good pitch to hit. You don't want to give up that run by giving up an easy hit, but she just missed ball 4. So now runners at first and third again.
As the wind picks up a little more.
With 1 out.
I wonder why.
And Hadley at the plate. She is 0 for 1. She's walked and grounded out to the shortstop in the game. Swing and a miss, and runner goes, and she's going to be in there safe, and the game will be extended because it scored a run. So the Bears attempted to get the out at second, successful stolen base, which then allows the run from third to score. So now it's 11-2. We'll play at least one more inning.
You still have 1 down, correct?
Yes, just 1 out.
Just making sure.
No balls, 1 strike. Runner at second. Ground ball, foul ball. So 0-2, 1 out, 1 on. But it's now 11-2, only a 9-run lead. So we'll have at least 1 more inning. Which means I'm going to need that battery charger we talked about.
Let me see if I can do this without hurting anything. What?
And foul ball. No, swing and a miss, but drop third strike. And she's going to be safe at first. I got to undo that.
Yeah, that would explain it. Let me.
So the Crockett gets the strikeout, but the the runner is safe at first on drop third strike, and the runner does advance to third. And ball 1.
All right, Jared, there's your charger.
The runner doesn't. Are we back on the air?
Oh yeah, we were on the air. It just
glitched for a second because I got a text message. Somebody was really upset at
some curly-headed doofus unplugged the wrong USB.
Oh, okay, I see.
My mistake. We're back, though.
So 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and third. And it's going to be a foul ball. Ground ball, foul ball down the first baseline. Bears lead at 11-2, but we'll have at least another inning as the Westside Pirates were able to extend the game by scoring a couple runs at least so far in this one. 1 ball, 1 strike, and strike 2. Swing and a miss. This time the runner finally does go from first to second. So now runners at second and third, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Danica R. is your batter. She has grounded out to the second baseman twice. And she's now behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. She's going to pop fly to center field. And I had missed an out somewhere. I missed an out. Because that was a fly ball, and I
must have too. Well, that's the end of the
fly out to center field. It's the end of the inning. I don't know where I missed an out. I'm going to have to figure that one out later, but we missed an out, and so far. So the score is 11-2. I have the score correct. Somehow I missed an out there. It must have been the first out of the inning. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the score correct. And the Bears lead it 11-2, but we're headed to the top of the 6th. We'll have the top of the 6th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Have you checked out the most awesome Ford store in eastern Idaho? We've been around for years.
And we've got top awards in the region for customer service and satisfaction.
We're Caribou Ford in Soda Springs.
Right now, we have the best inventory around and more on the way.
Or you can custom order your new car or truck just the way you like it.
We're Caribou Ford with the famous warranty forever.
And we're still keeping it simple in Soda Springs.
Back with the top of the 6th. I still haven't figured out where I missed it out. It must have been the first batter of the inning.
I really don't know where I missed it either.
I'm wondering if they counted the drop third strike as an out.
They must have.
Which she wasn't. She was safe at first. She was the runner that was at second on that play.
And there was confusion on the field, too, because the runner at second was tagging, and the runner from third took off as soon as it on contact.
Their coaches were yelling, "There's 2 outs. You should have been going." But anyway, we'll go with it because it ended the inning, and the Bears are up by a score of 11-2. Coming to the plate will be the catcher, Kaylee Culver. Culver could have been. We could have. So Ray thinks there was a strikeout that I missed. Could have been. Culver reached on an error. She walked and was hit by a pitch. So she's 0 for 1 on the day, but she's been on base all 3 times. And she comes to the plate and takes ball 1. So she's had a good day at the plate. She's had a decent day behind the plate as the catcher. And it's one of those things that you get up there and do your job. It doesn't have to be flashy, but she's still been on base all 3 times. And he takes that one for a called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 6th. Bears lead it 11-2 as the Pirates scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th to extend the game. Would have ended on the run rule, and that's ball 2 outside. So Culver's been very patient. 2 walks, well, a walk and hit by pitch in the game, and here she is up 2 balls, 1 strike in her 4th at bat. She swings, slow ground ball. She might be able to run this one out. The pitcher gets over there, but not in time. I'm going to call that an infield single, as that one was just a slow rolling bunt. Swinging bunt, we'll call it, because it went the distance of a bunt, but it was a slow enough roller in this new deep dirt that she's able to leg out a single. So Culver reaches base for the 4th time in the game.
Yeah, I did that one a couple of times, Jared. I called that one the power bump.
She's reached on an error on almost the exact same play. Walked, been hit by a pitch, and then gets a swinging bunt single there. That brings up Crockett, who on the day has got a home run as DeClark down to second on the steal. Ball 1. Ball was in the dirt. The reason I'm going to give her a steal is because she was going all the way, and they're not throwing her out. Crockett on the day has hit the ball hard. She has a home run. She nearly killed the pitcher with one of those plays where she caught the ball to save her own life, and she walked. So she's 1 out of 2 with the home run and has hit the ball hard 3 times. She squares the bunt, does not get it, but gets called for the swing and a miss. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner still at second. I think that was an attempt to advance DeClark down to third. Crockett couldn't lay it down, so she gets the strike. And that's low for ball 2. And DeClark steals on her own. She doesn't need the bunt still on that one. So she's now at third. And that would be the run to make it a 10-run lead again if she's able to score. So that's a big run down there as she's now at third. Snake's chair trying to rip and dropping to the ground. That would be if you hear a big clunk and me starting to laugh.
I think that's a sign I need to take myself to the gym.
And a wild pitch, but Clark's going to stay there smartly. Ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike.
I got to figure out how to fix this.
Runner at third after the single from Culver and a couple stolen bases by DeClark, the courtesy runner. Here's Crockett. Here's the pitch. Swing. Line drive. She's going to get in there for a single. So Crockett doing herself some favors on the day. That's her third RBI. So line drive single to left field for the pitcher Brooklyn Crockett. DeClark, who was running out there for Culver, scores on the play, and now courtesy runner for Crockett. Brooklyn replaces Brooklyn. Pope replaces Crockett, and Armstrong comes to the plate. Armstrong has had one of those days where she has crushed the ball, and she's 0 for 3 with a walk. And then Brooklyn Pope is going to steal second. Ball 1 and a stolen base for Pope. So 2 deep fly balls for outs for Armstrong. A third one was a shorter fly ball, but was dropped for an error, so she reached on an error. She's hit the ball hard 3 of the 4 times, then walked the 4th time, but she's got nothing to show for it. Here's the difference in the day. So Culver has been on base 4 times, and she hasn't yet got the ball back to the pitcher. And Armstrong has crushed the ball and only been on base once. She tries to bunt there and bunts it foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody on. And Culver's had a great day. I'm not criticizing Culver. I'm just saying, sometimes hitting the ball hard is not the key, because Armstrong is just crushing the ball today, but it has nothing to show for it, where Culver has done just enough, and a foul ball on another bunt attempt. Culver's done just enough with a walk, a hit by a pitch, and 2 ground balls. 1 was an error and 1 was a ground ball single. And so sometimes hitting the ball hard is not going to do it for you. The theme, and this is what Kaylee's done well today, the theme of the team this year has been create chaos. As Pope is going to steal third, and then she's going to get home because the throw to third was in the dirt. So ball 2, 2-2. Pope gets the steal, and then on the throwing error, she'll go home. So now the Bears lead at 13-2, back up by 11. Armstrong still the plate, nobody on now for her, so she's probably not bunting. Plus with 2 strikes, she's definitely not going to bunt. Because if you bunt foul on strike 3, you're automatically out. It counts as a strikeout. And she takes ball 3. So full count, 3-2. Nobody on, nobody out. 2 runs across already in the inning. And Morgan Armstrong up there. She's already walked once, and she's going to hit a ground ball to the third baseman. Up and in time. Just barely got her. Good play by the third baseman to get Armstrong, who's got a lot of speed, and almost legged that one out for a single. But she's retired. That's the first out of the inning. So Natalie Parslow comes to the plate. She has hit the ball hard 3 times. Does have 1 hit, 1 walk, so she's 1 out of 3 with a walk. Been on base twice in the game. Here's the pitch. That's going to hit her in the back, or did she duck out of the way?
I think she ducked.
From here, I couldn't tell if it glanced off her back or if she ducked, and they're going to say she ducked because she's still at the plate. So 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody on, 1 out. 2 runs across. The Bears back up by 11. And here's the pitch. Swung on, and it's going to be a pop fly single into right field. Nice little... Didn't get very high off the ground, but it wasn't hit hard enough to call it a line drive. Kind of a half pop fly, a line drive-ish thing. Nobody's going to catch that ever, and it goes for a single. Nice at bat. Now Hallie Bruce at the plate. So far on the game, as she takes ball 1, and Parslow stays there, doesn't steal. She grounded out, and she singled. She reached by on an error and is hit by a pitch. So she is 1 out of 3 on the day with a hit by pitch, so she's been on base twice. That one's behind her for ball 2. And Parslow, who was running anyway, gets the easy stolen base. When it's a wild pitch and you're stealing anyway, it makes it pretty easy to get there. So with 2 balls, no strikes, Parslow now down at second. Bruce at the plate. 1 for 3 on the day with a walk, and she's going to foul that one back. So now 1 ball, 1 strike. No, 2 balls, 1 strike, sorry. I can count. 2 balls, 1 strike to the senior And if you notice the name Halley is popular, we've got 3 Halleys playing for Bear Lake on the day and 2 playing for Westside. And that's ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Parslow, the runner, stays at second.
Good hitters count here for Bruce.
Oh, yeah. This is one that your eyes get big if that ball's anywhere close, because you think they're going to have to pitch it somewhere close with 3 balls already. And it's not like 3-0 where you can just let it go past knowing you got plenty of time. And she takes that one for ball 4. If it's 3-0, a lot of times the coach won't let you swing. At 3-1, you got to have a green light, because if you take it for strike 2, could end up in an out. So she doesn't get one to swing at there. She gets her second walk of the game. That brings Sadara Priest to the plate. Ball in the dirt. Runners will advance for ball 1 on ball 1. Priest is 0 for 1 on the day. She's walked once and been hit by the pitch twice. So she's been on base 3 times without getting a base hit. So 2 runners in scoring position for the batter, Priest. And she rockets that one, but foul. If that one's straight, who knows what could have happened, because it was so far foul. Way out in front of that one. That was deep left field, deep right field of the other diamond. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on for Priest. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2. Just missed her again. She's been a magnet up there. Been hit twice. Walked once. Grounded out once. In the first inning, she grounded out to end the inning. So here we go, 2-1 count. A couple seniors on the base paths. Bruce and Parslow out there for the senior Priest at the plate. This middle part of the lineup has a lot of seniors. As Priest takes inside for ball 3, and usually Priest is followed by senior Perkins and then senior Ure, but with Perkins being injured and out for this game, still she's followed by a senior Ure, but then after that we go to a freshman. Priest with a 3-1 pitch, and she's going to take ball 4, and it's a wild pitch, and Parslow's going to score. Bruce is going to go down to third. And I have the count wrong, because they're saying she's still at the plate. So that's got to be ball 4 now. That's maybe even ball 5. Yeah,
okay, I was going to say we're going to go ball 6 here. The count is now 6-1.
I'm so confused. Somewhere,
it's a new rule. You got to get
somewhere 7. I missed a strike. Must have been a called strike. Anyway, first and third. That run did score, so it's now 14-2. You're at the plate. Likely Priest running on the pitch. Bruce down at third. 1 out. And Ure squares, fake bunt for strike 1. And Priest stills. So runners now at second and third. And Ure crushed one to for a single her last at bat. And ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ure is 1 for 4 on the day. She grounded out 3 times and had then that single her last at bat. On a line drive, she takes that one high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners at second, third, 1 out. 3 runs have already crossed the plate in the inning. As the senior third baseman, Ure in the box. Here's the pitch. Low and into the dirt, and Halle Bruce going to score easily on that one. And Priest jogs on down to third base. So now 4 runs across in the inning. The Bears have yet to hit the ball. They're scoring on wild pitches. Bears have yet to hit the ball hard. Ure gets a good cut of that one just underneath it. It's It's a foul ball. That was she had a good cut on that one. If she would have connected in the sweet spot, that ball would have been a line drive somewhere. But she's just underneath it. So 3-2, full count, runner at third. One out. Here's the pitch. And she's going to, line drives it right at the second baseman, who makes a great play. She hit that ball hard. Second baseman sticks up her mitt and makes the catch for out number 2. Priest stays at third. And that's going to bring up Romrell, the sophomore, who is struck out, singled, hit by a pitch, and singled so far in the game. So she's 2 for 2. And the ball's in the dirt, but it stays in front of the catcher for ball 1. And Priest will stay down there at third base. Bears now up by 13, 15-2. Like a couple more runs here to make sure we don't have to go to a 7th inning. Here's Romrell. She's going to swing. That ball's going to be in play. It's going to be one of those swinging bunts. As it does, it just trickles down that third baseline. And she's done that twice in the game. She's had infield singles because that dirt is deep. And Priest, did Priest score on that? Yes, she did. Never mind.
No.
Or is she still? Oh, she's still
on third.
So Romrell gets a swinging bunt, but because the ball is right in front of Priest, she doesn't score. Swing and a miss from Hallie Wells as Romrell will steal second. 2 of Romrell's singles in this game have been those little, and one of Kaylee Culver's been those little swinging bunts where it just trickles down the line, and in this deep dirt, it doesn't go very fast. And then a line drive right back at the middle by Hallie Wells. The freshman is going to drive in 2 with a base hit, a single to center field. Nice line drive, just barely to miss taking the pitcher's head off. And great hit there by Wells. She's at first with a single, and 17-2 is the score. A little bit of padding now for the Bears. And a timeout taken by the Pirates. Don't know if they're making a pitching change here or if they're just trying to calm things down. Oh, maybe she might have hit her bare hands trying to catch that. She might have, because she's holding her hand and they're watching her pitch. I wonder if when she reached up for that one, because she reached up to try to catch it, I wonder if it caught her bare hand, because that's what they're looking at out there. I hope she's okay. Great young lady, and she's thrown 2 pitches, and they've both been way out of control. I don't know that she's going to be able to continue, which is sad, because she's a great young lady. If she is who I think she is, she's the coach's daughter, and great family, love coaching, as I said, against the Wades. They're good people. She finally gets that pitch over, so maybe she'll be able to continue. I hope so. Don't want anybody to get hurt. And I didn't see it hit her, but I'm guessing that's what happened, Nate.
That's all I can come up with. That would make sense, too. It kind of had an awkward kick once it got to second base. It almost looked like to me. It looked like it was a little bit off, so maybe it caught her bare hand as she went up to make that play.
And it just, like I said, and I wasn't mocking her in any way when I said just missed taking her head off. That was just a crushing hit by Hallie Wells, and I'm guessing that's what happened. Kaylee Culver to the plate, and she fouls the first one off. As Culver's had one of those days that she's 1 out of 2, but she's been on base all 4 times, because the one time she didn't get credit for a hit was she reached on an error. She had a lot of those swinging bunts, and she's walked and been hit by a pitch. So great day for Culver at the plate. And she puts this one in play. It's going to be a single, C9 single, right between first and second. Wells is going to attempt to go to third on the play and makes it there safely. Great day for Kaylee Culver. She's now 2 for 3 with a walk, a hit by a pitch, and reached on a grounder. So she's been on base all 5 times she's come to the plate. And like I said, she has not crushed the ball by any means, but she's done her job, and that's all that. For you young kids out there, you emulate what Kaylee Culver's done today, and you'll be a successful player, because she's just gone up there and done her job. And she will be replaced by the courtesy runner DeClark, who will be going on the pitch.
Hit by pitch on the first pitch.
Is that so? Crockett has had herself a day too. She now has got a home run. That's the wrong batter there. Crockett hit a home run. She walked. She lined out to the pitcher on a great hit that the pitcher was able to get on base out of self-defense. She singled, and then she was hit by a pitch. So she's been on 4 out of the 5 times. And the one time she did get on, she hit the ball hard. Hopefully she's okay. She's holding that elbow. She'll be replaced. Brooklyn, again, will replace Brooklyn. Pope will come in for Crockett. Bases are loaded full of Bears. There are 2 outs. And coming to the plate is the leadoff hitter, Morgan Armstrong. She's already been to bat in this inning. She flied out to center, reached on an error on a fly ball, walked, and base running error right there. And a run does score. But again, Pope went from first, not realizing there was a runner at second, I guess. And
so that run counts?
Yes, because the run actually got to do something different here.
So 18-2?
Yeah, so Wells, the run counts. Pope is picked off. So it ends the inning, but the umpires did signal very clearly that the run scored before the out was made, and because it was not a force out, the run counts. So 18-2. Bears have some cushion here. They got to give up 6 for this run to this. They got the scoreboard out there. It's 15-2, but it is 18. The Bears have got to give up 6 runs for this game to continue because it's 10-run rule. Let's see if Crockett, who got hit by a pitch on the at-bat just before that inning ended, if she's going to be able to continue. She's out there in the circle. Hopefully, oh, it was her left arm. Who cares? It's not her pitching arm. She's fine. I'm going to tell her that later, too. And she'll glare at me, because she always does. Brooklyn Crockett, the junior pitcher, has had a great game. She's thrown 92 pitches through 5 innings. She's only given up the 3 runs. They all came in the bottom of the 5th. So here she is in the bottom of the 6th. She's got a 6-run cushion to even extend the game. A 16-run cushion to lose the game. So she's in good shape. Bears up 18-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Run rule's in effect if the Pirates can't score. They scored 2 to keep to extend the game in the bottom of the 5th. They need to score 7 to extend the game here in the bottom of the 6th. Coming to the plate, we've got the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. First baseman Sarah G at the plate. She is 0 for 1. She popped out to the third baseman and she was hit by a pitch. This is her 3rd at bat of the game. She takes ball 1, a little outside. The Pirates need base runners if they're going to extend this game. Crockett gets a sign from the pitching coach. That is Bailey Armstrong. Big sister of shortstop Morgan Armstrong is the pitching coach. Ball 2, a little low. And Sarah G was hit by a pitch earlier, so she has found her way on base. And she's at the plate for her 3rd at-bat. This one's inside, just missed her. She jumps out of the way, takes ball 3, 3-0. This is one of those counts that, in this situation especially, if you're West Side, you're telling your batter, you keep that bat firmly on your shoulder. You're telling your pitcher, pitch a strike, and she just misses. Must have been a little high for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. Kenzie B now batting for West Side. Hard ground ball at the middle for a base hit, and she grounded out, so she's 1 out of 2 in the game. Crockett, with a runner at first, nobody out, comes to the plate. Just outside, ball 1. So 5 straight balls, but none of them have been, only the one that almost hit her was the only one that really missed by that much. The Pirates have just been very patient at this at-bat because most of those pitches have been close. And this is a fly ball, foul territory way over there behind first base. Got up there in the wind, high pop fly, got up there in the wind, and it went just past the dirt is all, so it wasn't very deep, but it was way, way, way out there behind all the fans. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 person on first base. Here's the pitch. Inside. Nice dig there by Culver. Makes the throw down to first. Runners back in time. But that was a nice play by Culver to knock that one down and make the runner hustle back. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th, 18-2 is your score. And they're waiting for something over there on the first base side. And foul ball ripped into the crowd. That's Brooklyn's dad.
That turned into a game of dodgeball right there. That was coming in there with some heat.
So Brooklyn Crockett's dad makes a diving move to get out of the way. He stayed in his chair.
The athleticism of that move right there, that's a Sports Center top 10 right there. That was like a 100-meter hurdle kind of a jump.
We had a play like that here a few years ago. And there's ball 3. So 3, full count here. We had a play like that a few years ago. The Robert Anderson, the bus driver, was the victim, and it missed his head by about an inch. He would have been knocked cold if that would have caught him, and he just missed getting just totally obliterated, as was swing and a miss for strike 3. Great pitch there by Crockett. The rise ball gets her to offer at a ball out of the zone for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Another strikeout recorded by her. And let's see how many strikeouts she has on the game, if I can see that. And out,
what a catch! And we're
a double play to end the game. Morgan Armstrong at second base just turned an amazing double play. She catches the line drive, gets it over to Wells, who makes a brilliant stretch. Out number 3. Game ends with a final score of 18-2. Crockett, I'm going to give you her stats. I was just looking it up. She had 6 strikeouts on the game, so that's not bad for 6 strikeout an inning. Not too bad of stats. Bears win it 18-2. Good day at the plate for the Bears. Good day in the field for the Bears. Romrell led the all hitters with she went 3 out of 4 on the day for Bear Lake. Crockett, though, did have that home run, that 2-run home run. And let's see, RBIs. Leading RBI getter, Hallie Wells, she had 5. The freshman in her first varsity start gets 5 RBIs. Brooklyn Crockett had 3. 3 different Bears scored 3 times. Wells scored 3 runs. Pre scored 3 runs. Hallie Bruce scored 3 runs. Parslow scored 2 runs. Ure scored 2. And not bad overall for the Bears on the day. They score 18. They stole 17 bases. That tells you how aggressive the Bears were on the bases. They scored 18, win the game 18-2, and good day overall for the Bear Lake Bears. And Brooklyn Crockett picks up the win. Bears win it to go to 1-1 in district play. Their next game is next Wednesday, 1 week from today. Because of prom, they don't have any more games this week. The JV does play a doubleheader at home on Friday. So if you want to see some of these same girls in action, because we had a couple JV girls out there today as courtesy runners, and Hallie Wells playing for an injured player, come on out to the field Friday, 1 o'clock, doubleheader versus Blackfoot. Baseball team in action also on Friday, doubleheader up in American Falls. So baseball team has a couple this week. Track is at Pocatello, in Pocatello for the an invitational there. And so big track meet for them on Friday. And golf goes golfing tomorrow to Grace. So everybody in action the next couple days, and a home middle school track meet going on tomorrow. So lots going on.
Busy day for spring sports in Bear Lake then.
It is.
A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of good stuff. And you know what? Thank you for joining us today. The awesome Mr. Ray Henry freezing himself to death out here in the wind on the camera. Nate, our excellent producer. So for everybody on the SVI Sports Network, this is
Nate Matthews
and Jared Hillier saying good night, everybody.